Two monks hid silkworm eggs inside hollow bamboo staffs. If they were caught in China, they would be thrown alive into boiling oil. But if they succeeded, they would be paid 10,000 gold coins. An ordinary farmer earned 100 coins a year. This was 100 years of income. In the year 552, two Nestorian monks completely transformed the economy of the Byzantine Empire. Since around 2700 BC, silk had been a state secret of China. For 3,000 years, no one had managed to smuggle it out. Stealing silkworm eggs meant execution. Stealing mulberry seeds meant execution. Teaching the production process meant execution. Chinese law was absolute and unforgiving. Soldiers searched travelers at the borders as if they were looting them. One bolt of silk was worth 1,000 gold coins in China. After passing through Persian territory, its value doubled. By the time it reached Constantinople, it was worth 5,000 coins. The Persians took a 50% commission. Every year, millions of Byzantine gold coins flowed east. Emperor Justinian watched the treasury drain away. By law, only the emperor could wear silk. Purple was strictly forbidden. Only the emperor could wear purple silk. If a noble accidentally wore purple, he could be executed. One bolt of purple silk was worth 10,000 coins. The imperial court consumed 100 bolts per year. 1,000,000 coins were spent on fabric alone. The Silk Road stretched 6,000 kilometers. The journey from China to Constantinople took 6 months. Caravans traveled with 100 camels. Each camel carried 200 kilograms of silk. A single caravan transported 20 tons. 10 caravans arrived each year. 200 tons of silk moved annually. In 550, Justinian sent two Nestorian monks. They had previously served as missionaries in India. They had traveled to the Serinda region, western China. It was the heart of silk production. They had seen the process. They had learned the knowledge. They chose bamboo staffs because they were hollow. The eggs would be wrapped in straw. Straw regulated temperature. It cooled in desert heat. It insulated against mountain cold. It was the perfect transport method. Guards would never suspect it. Silkworm eggs are extremely delicate. Above 35 degrees, they die. Below 10 degrees, they freeze. 25 degrees is ideal. Humidity must be around 60%. One mistake would destroy the entire mission. In Serinda, they collected the eggs during a single night. They likely took around 5,000 eggs. Each egg was smaller than a grain of rice. They carefully placed them in straw. They also added mulberry seeds. The seeds were smaller than apples. Everything was sealed inside the bamboo staffs. Here is the shocking part. Chinese border guards stripped merchants completely. They searched clothing, bags, animals, everything, but they never touched a monk's staff. Religious respect saved them. For 2 years, every day carried risk. The eggs had to be checked twice daily. Too hot meant shade, too cold meant warmth. But the staff could never be opened in public. If caravan companions noticed, they would report it. Checks were done only at night. Persian territory was even more dangerous. The Sassanid Empire controlled the silk trade. They earned 10 million coins per year from it. They executed silk smugglers as well. But the monks passed unnoticed. In 552, they reached Constantinople. They had walked 6,000 kilometers. The eggs were still alive. The mulberry seeds were intact. Justinian was astonished. Each monk was paid an estimated 10,000 gold coins. They were granted land near Constantinople. They were exempt from taxes. They received a lifelong imperial salary, 500 coins per month. A farmer earned 100 per year. The first silkworms were raised in the palace gardens. Mulberry trees were planted. 6 months later, the first harvest began. One cocoon produced nearly 1,000 meters of silk thread. 5,000 cocoons meant 5 million meters of silk. One bolt was 1,000 meters long. 5,000 bolts were produced. Byzantium no longer depended on Persia. 5 million coins were saved annually. Within 10 years, 50 million coins remained in the treasury. Justinian strengthened the army. Silk production became a state monopoly. Private production was forbidden. Selling eggs was forbidden. Selling mulberry seeds was forbidden. The penalty was death. The monopoly lasted 600 years. Silk workers formed a separate class. They were called the gynaeconitis. Only women were allowed to weave silk. Men were forbidden. They worked inside the palace. They could not leave. They stayed for life. A silk worker earned 200 coins per month. A servant earned 50, 4 times more pay. But no freedom, no marriage, no children. They were slaves of the system. Workshops were protected by 3 layers of security: imperial guards, special silk guards, unit guards at the inner gate. No one entered without permission. The production process itself was secret. Feeding methods were hidden. Boiling techniques were concealed. Dye formulas were known only to masters. When a master died, the knowledge died with them. Purple dye was the most difficult to produce. It came from murex sea snails. 10,000 snails produced 1 gram of dye. 1 bolt required 100,000 snails. That is why purple silk cost 10,000 coins. Only the emperor could wear it. Venetian merchants sold Byzantine silk across Europe. They bought it for 5,000 coins. They sold it for 10,000, 100% profit. Venice grew rich. Byzantium gained power. In 1204, the Fourth Crusade sacked Constantinople. Workshops were destroyed. Weavers were taken. The knowledge moved to Italy. Florence and Lucca became silk centers. By the 13th century, Italy dominated silk production. Byzantium lost the monopoly. But it had lasted 600 years. The monks disappeared from history. Their names were never recorded. But they changed the course of empires. The risks were absolute. Boiling oil in China, execution in Persia, 2 years of failure if the eggs died. Bandits, disease, death at every step. But the reward was enormous. 10,000 coins, land for generations, imperial protection, legendary status. The alternative was poverty and obscurity. They took the risk. They changed history. 2 bamboo staffs saved an empire. As we trace the lives long lost to time, continue this journey by subscribing.